Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Chris Grier, Director and Chiropractor at Bright Futures Chiropractic in Kelowna, Iowa. Welcome to today's seminar, Journey Natural Parenting Made Easy. Whether we are parents now or planning to be at some point, we all want the same thing, vibrantly healthy children. In my practice over the years, it has been a joy to see the children come into the practice brought by their parents here who have been referred by a friend or a family member, and to see those kids' lives revitalized by the power of chiropractic and other wellness lifestyle choices that their parents started to take action on. Imagine a child who's 9 months old and has had colic and chronic ear infections, consistent problems with congestion, runny nose, constipation, who's been told that the next step from the medical perspective would be ear tubes and more medication. Then the child gets evaluated like we do here at Bright Futures Chiropractic. The cause behind all of these health problems is determined, and appropriate chiropractic care is determined with gentle adjustments and education about lifestyle enhancements. And a few short months later, the child is thriving, developing optimally, growing up healthy. That story is the common theme around here. And it is because of the way we approach health. After all, we believe that all people were designed to be vibrantly healthy, robustly healthy, and anything less than that is because there's a blockage to the body's ability to express excellent health. Thank you so much for investing your time today in this teleseminar. In short order, I'm going to cover the top strategies for natural parenting that will help unlock the immense potential inside your children and will help lead him or her or them down a path towards vibrant health and an enjoyable life. So, what is the definition of natural parenting anyway? I define it as a parenting strategy that is designed to allow the inborn innate potential of a child to be fully expressed. This is based on the principle that we are designed to express vibrant health and that nature needs no help, just no interference. Unfortunately, we now all live in a world that is the opposite of natural, with tight schedules, processed foods, a tremendous lack of natural movement, screens chirping at us at every moment of our lives, and often significant disconnection from our loved ones, all of which provides us with levels of stress that our bodies were not designed to handle. So we go into a state of function, a state of physiology that is best described as survival mode. And when this state is chronic and persistent, we aren't able to grow and thrive, but rather we start to break down and struggle. The great news is that we also live in a world where we have all the resources to make the choices that are different than that conventional model I just described. Choices that stimulate our innate capacity to grow and thrive and enjoy life to the fullest. And those choices are what I'll dive into right now. So imagine a long, straight road. On one end of the road, we find vibrant, robust, joyful existence. We'll call it wellness. On the other end, we find chronically ill, broken down, struggling existence. We'll call it illness. Everyone I've ever talked to wants to end up at wellness. It wouldn't make any sense for us to desire moving towards illness, but at the same time, most of us are unconsciously, slowly taking steps towards illness, but we don't know it because it isn't quite always obvious. It's quite a ways down the road in that direction that we even notice what direction we're moving in or where we are on the road. The steps represent choices, and those come in 3 dimensions. Physical, chemical, and emotional, and how much those choices affect our health is determined by how well our bodies can handle and adapt to stress. I'm going to say that again. How much the choices we make in life affect our health, positively or negatively, is determined by how well our bodies can handle and adapt to stress. And that is determined by the health of our nervous system. Naturally, then, the first strategy that I'm going to talk about today focuses on caring for that nervous system. And frankly, the remaining items will all build upon this foundation. The spine is the superhighway between your body and your brain. Your body is constantly telling the brain what is happening in the environment, inside and out. Literally trillions of bits of information per second are being sent to the brain, and the brain's job is to identify what needs to be done and adapt appropriately to the environment. If there's a restriction or a misalignment in the spine, this causes an endangering stress to the spinal cord, to the nervous system, and the information between the body and the brain, or vice versa, gets distorted, and we don't perceive our environment correctly, and therefore we don't adapt in the best way possible, leading to dysfunction. The natural state of the body is to have this superhighway flowing freely so the adaptation happens without interference. So an important natural parenting approach is to regularly get your child's spine checked by a chiropractor for interference to this flow. It's what chiropractors call subluxation. As long as the spine and the nervous system are functioning well, then our job as parents is all about ensuring that our children have everything they need to truly thrive, and nothing that will cause the body the opposite of thriving, nothing that will cause the body to break down. So let's start with the physical dimension. Human beings were designed to move a lot, and we can witness this in our children. If left to their own devices, a 4-year-old will be active and interact with his environment all day long until he drops at the end of the day. The natural parenting approach, therefore, is to provide a stimulating environment that allows for this. Making the home and yard a place that is safe to explore and touch and, yes, create a mess in is key, along with taking regular trips to the woods, ponds, prairie, parks, and playgrounds, and letting kids explore, climb, run, crawl, jump, and otherwise use their body in natural ways. If you want more reading on this, check out Richard Louve's award-winning book, Last Child in the Woods, for more on what he has called nature deficit disorder. It's great stuff. I think the guy's got it dialed in. He's got the key to a lot of things in that book. On the toxic side of the movement spectrum is the ever-present screen time that children are subjected to and become, frankly, addicted to. Trust me, the people behind the television programming, movies, games, YouTube videos are experts at influencing the behavior of your children. I encourage you to ask this then. Who do you want to be the biggest influencer in your child's life? If your answer is me, his parents, please be sure to spend at least 4 times as much quality time interacting with your children as they spend in front of screens. A study done by the University of Pittsburgh and Harvard in 2009 showed an interesting and, I think, very telling result. It showed a direct correlation to the amount of television teenagers watched and their risk of developing depression in the coming years. Let me say that again. This study by the University of Pittsburgh and Harvard in 2009 showed a direct correlation to the amount of television teenagers watched and their risk of developing depression in coming years. The more television, the higher the risk of developing depression. That is telling enough right there. Next, human beings were also designed to eat what nature has provided. This means it's a simple list: fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and meat. If a food doesn't fit into one of those categories, you can be sure that it isn't a natural parenting choice. While some contend that this might be too difficult, I contend that it actually makes eating more simple. You can pretty much skip everything with a barcode in the grocery store, which leaves you shopping in the produce and the meat section of the grocery store. Also, gardening at home is a great way to combine healthy, natural physical activity with raising the world's best food for your children. And they dig it too, so they'll be more likely to eat it and enjoy it. Search the internet for natural food blogs, paleo and primal eating websites, children's gardening, and also do this activity. Turn your children loose in the produce section, and each week have them pick out one favorite item and one item that they've never had that they would like to try. Now, we all know how much processed food is available to and consumed by children, and I am convinced that we don't know the true danger of this. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it nearly as much of it. Please understand that your child's body and brain are literally built out of the food they consume and digest. If you want to give your kids the opportunity to grow up optimally and develop healthy, and I know that you do because all the parents that I've talked to have, they must be eating food that provides all of the nutrients necessary for health. And these only come from natural foods. A great place to focus on here is beverages. After all, what is the only beverage necessary for humans to drink after infancy? Really, what is it? If you answered water, you're right on it. Every other beverage is unnecessary. Please keep that in mind. All right, now I can hear the questions now, but Dr. Grier, what about milk? What about juice? And I'll refer back to the question. What is the only beverage humans need after infancy? Water is the best choice, which doesn't necessarily make those other options terrible, but please know that they are not natural choices. And finally, let's talk about what I believe to be the most important lifestyle dimension, the emotional life. Human beings were designed to function in a tight-knit family and tribal groups with strong social connections in a society that honored and supported children, who were viewed as important parts of the community. When looked at in this light, it is natural to come to the conclusion that children need strong families and extended social networks, and that they need to be given responsibilities appropriate to their abilities. All of these things foster robust self-esteem, what I believe to be the most important emotional predictor for children that allows them to become vibrant adults. Most of all, we have heard how important family mealtime is. There's plenty of studies that are out there for that. I encourage you to take this even a step further and commit to having truly connected mealtime, free of distractions like television and phones, and full of eye contact, lively discussion, and family check-in time that fosters a strong feeling of connection amongst the family members. This mealtime ideally extends into the preparation and cleanup phases on either side of the meal as well, with children being integral players in the process, which, again, fosters robust self-esteem. All right, let's recap. Committing to natural parenting strategies will allow the inborn innate potential of a child to be fully expressed. And today we talked about getting chiropractic checkups so the child's body and brain are talking appropriately to one another. Encourage natural movement and exploration in the house, and be sure to consistently and regularly incorporate natural settings like woods, prairies, ponds, and gardens. Be mindful of screen time and the powerful influence that it can have on children's habits and behaviors. Eat and drink what nature has provided while limiting or eliminating processed food and beverages. Food provides the building blocks for your children's brain and body, after all. And foster emotional intelligence by creating connection within the family and a strong social network. Provide children with important responsibilities and participate in family gatherings like meals that are free from outside distractions like television and phones. There you have it. There's a primer on the key strategies for natural parenting. And if the items in this call resonated with you, please feel free to listen back through multiple times. Take notes and commit to whatever next action steps seem appropriate for you in your natural parenting journey. If your children are not getting regular chiropractic checkups, please contact us now to set one up, or we will help you find a great chiropractor if you don't live close by. Always remember that at Bright Futures Chiropractic, your family's potential is our passion. Enjoy your day. Thanks for investing your time in this teleseminar today. Take care.